Okay, this is a picture of Margaret. And then coming over to Phil's favorite picture of Verity. Oops. And I don't know, in this one?
That's Verity and me, and then to the right on the organ is
Oops.
Margaret and me.
Oh, that's beautiful. And how about this one?
Yeah, that's Verity.
What a beautiful picture. Was that taken out here?
No, I'm not sure where that was taken. That was and right by your elbow there's Margaret.
Oh, okay. Margaret's who you had your kids with.
Huh?
Margaret's who you had your kids with?
She,
She's the mother of your children?
yes.
Margaret?
Yeah. I was married to her for 55 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good long time. Did you know, I've been meaning to ask you this. I'll just hold this for right now. When you started writing poems, I don't think I know.
When I moved here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought of it before?
I liked poetry, but I hadn't thought much of trying to write any. I think the first poem I wrote, let's see, whether I have it or not. It's a book called Legacy. It's a poem called Legacy.
How did you come to think to write a poem? I mean, how did it, were you sitting somewhere and you just thought to write something down? It came to your mind, or how did that?
The first one you
Yeah,
read?
when you first started.
Well, I don't know. I just decided I wanted to write something for my children. And the poem is days of joy and none of sorrow. No power of mine can will these things. My gift to you, if love were power, in joy or sorrow, a heart that sings.
My gosh, that's beautiful. How old were your kids at that time? Do you remember?
They were grown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You started thinking about what you wanted to leave them when.
Yeah.
And then after that, you must have awakened something in you.
Well, most of my, if a poem seems to have turned out to be any good, it'll be one that I have strong feelings about. I usually can't just sit down and write a poem about, if somebody says write a poem about so and so, that's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
Writing the love poems, it was either something I wanted to say while they were alive, or something that I wish that I had said. And then, of course, the ones like we read this morning, why it's they're memories that are pretty strong memories. And the war book, aside from the poems, some of the poems are my trying to have those people remembered, but some of the ones that aren't poems, my memories of the war are very erratic. I mean, I'll remember some things vividly, and then the weeks or so in between, well, I hardly have any memory of. But mostly it's when something was happening. That's those I remember. But if it was reasonably quiet, well, I have just kind of vague memories of that. But yeah, one of the maybe next books that I want to read, it's called Tell Her Stars, and it's a title taken from a little short poem called Tell Her Stars. Where are you, stars? Why are you hiding out of sight? I want to look into her eyes. I want to tell her I remember. Tell her, stars. Tell her if you see my love tonight. And that poem is related to one of them that we didn't read last time, or didn't get recorded that we need to, and that's the one called I Remember You. Do you remember me? Do you remember how it used to be when we would look at starry skies in the starlight, holding tight? Love, look at the stars tonight. Do you feel me looking in your eyes? In every star, remember me. Oh, I remember you. Your words, your touch, your eyes. Every shadow on your lovely face. The endless measure of your gifts of grace. The starry nights, you lying near. Nothing changes, you're here. Oh, I remember you. Then this is one of the others that we didn't get, called Old Love. I loved Margaret, and when I lost her I was lonesome, and after a year or so I went to Verity, and I said, do you want a companion? And she surprised me and said yes. But nothing physical, you know, she said. And I said, sure, because I was lonesome. And that's how it was for a while. But then there were the stars. Verity could see the stars. It was strange because she had macula and couldn't see my face, but she could see the stars. And we must have thought of ourselves in the stars, and how at night you need someone to hold and remind you you aren't alone in the universe. So we held each other, and old felt good. called Morning Song. Sometimes I wake up singing, and the morning sky is blue, and the morning birds are winging, and my thoughts are thoughts of you, of those happy days together, of the days when love was new, when tomorrow was forever, and forever was with you. And then the other one that we're going to read with that first group was the one by Verity called Petal Fall. Verity knew that when an apple tree is under stress, sometimes it'll bloom in the fall. This is called Petal Fall. That autumn, the old apple tree, split by storms, gnarled and twisted, only half its limbs alive and leafy, blossomed in a fairy froth. In my mirror, an old woman bears the mark of passing storms, of passing seasons. But as you enter the door, at the sound of your voice, a shower of petals falls softly. I'm not sure who Verity wrote that for. It was written before we were together. Maybe it was for her husband, Bill, who had died. I don't know. But I do know that while I was with her, that's how she felt when I came in the door. It's a wonderful poem. She had to know something about apple trees to be able to write it. And of course she had to know something about an old woman. But she had to know something about love. And to be able to put all those together into a poem, I think that's pretty special. It's one of my very favorite poems. Maybe the favorite.